Vegas Nation Gameday Live, sponsored by South Point Sportsbook. Download the app at southpointsports.com.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Vegas Nation Game Day. We hope that extra hour of sleep due to the time change has got you ready for today's 10 a.m. kickoff. The Raiders set to take on the Giants on the road. I'm your host, Cassie Soto, and I am joined in studio by sports reporter Sam Gordon. Sam, it's been a very tough week for the Raiders, to say the least, after the news came out that former wide receiver Henry Ruggs was involved in a fatal car crash where 23-year-old Tina Tintor of Las Vegas lost her life in the fiery crash. And it's been pretty hard to sort of put into words the emotions of it all.
Yeah, for sure, Cassie. I mean, very, very difficult week. Tragedy is an understatement. It's tragic on so many levels. Obviously, first and foremost, our thoughts are with the family and the loved ones and the friends of Tina Tintor. But this is also a situation where a 22-year-old young man made a series of terrible decisions that are going to change his life forever as well. So it's tragic in so many words, as we've recapped over and over again on ReviewJournal.com and VegasNation.com. And now the Raiders are left with the tough task of having to move past this and continue their season without somebody that was very valuable for them this year.
And Sam, we've heard obviously from this organization that it is a family. It's run like a family business. But I think that it's the fans of Raider Nation that have proved that in this instance. The family of Tina Tintor set up a GoFundMe where their goal was $7,000, Sam. As of this morning, that GoFundMe is at $78,000, and a majority of those donations have come from Raiders fans.
Yeah, and that's huge, and if there's nothing, again, this is a tragedy beyond words, but if there's any sort of solace that the family can take, it's that Raider Nation, the fans of this franchise, have their back and understand that this is way bigger than football. I mean, this is way, 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 way bigger than football. So great to see you on that front, and hopefully the family can get the support they need as they deal with this devastating time.
Yeah, and unfortunately now it's a hard transition to get back to football, but it's what the Raiders have to do. It's what we have to do here. So let's go ahead and look at the injury report, starting with the Giants. Running back Saquon Barkley will not be an issue for the Raiders defense today, as he has been rolled out, Sam.
Cassie, this is one of the most talented running backs in all of football. We know what he can do as a pass catcher. We know about the elusiveness and the power, but he just cannot seem to stay healthy. So that's big for the Raiders, who are going to be reunited with old friend Devontae Booker. He's going to take a number of the carries today. Obviously, the backup running back to Josh Jacobs last year can catch the ball out of the backfield, can run in between the tackles. He's not Saquon Barkley. Very few are, but he can do some of the same things. So I expect him to have a big role in that offense today. But again, big break for the Raiders without Saquon out there.
Yeah, and as for the Raiders, we're still waiting on that injury report to come out. But if we look at what happened this past week at practice, everybody has been full participants this past week.
I mean, that bye week could not have come at a better time, right? That's so cliche. No matter when the bye week comes, I think that's always the messaging. But this was a team that was a little banged up, right? Darren Waller didn't play in that game against the Philadelphia Eagles before the bye. Josh Jacobs was banged up. Looks like those guys are going to be able to go. Raiders offense fully healthy and ready to go against a Giants defense that is a little bit opportunistic, that can make some things happen.
Let's go ahead and toss things out to our Vegas Nation crew, Heidi Fang and Ed Graney.
Hey everyone, it's Heidi Fang here with our Review Journal sports columnist, Ed Graney. We are live in front of MetLife Stadium, where the Giants and Raiders will do battle soon. But first, we want to take a look at how this team could possibly rebound from everything that they've had to confront, from John Gruden to the Henry Ruggs situation. Ed, they've shown their resilience once before. How do you think this team looks once they get on the field?
You know, they did with Gruden, but Heidi, this is a much different case. Listen, emotion can work one of two ways in these kind of situations. One, emotion can be used positively. They can come out, they know they have a job, they can play off it. Two, it can be negatively. They can let the Henry Ruggs situation fester and not look good. We saw the last few years when they've come on these trips, the Jets not good, the Falcons not good. If they play like that today, they're going to lose. But if they can use their emotion to get inspired and to come out positively and say, we have a job to do, I think they'll be okay.
The Raiders have had to confront their own share of things that have happened throughout the course of the week, as we know about Henry Ruggs' fatal crash that had happened earlier in the week. Well, there were some responses from Giants players as well. Wide receiver Kadarius Toney took to Twitter and had posted a message of his own, but Ed, I think it really didn't get through the way I think maybe he had intended, and some of the words, for me, I don't think was really appropriate and not the words that he should have used.
No, here's the problem with the tweet. He insinuated that Henry Ruggs made a mistake. I'm sick and tired of that. Henry Ruggs made a choice. He made a choice to get liquored up, according to the district attorney, and drive 157, 154 miles in a 45-mile-an-hour zone. Look, people have a right to grieve how they want. They have a right, I guess, to tweet what they want. But to insinuate anyone out there that Henry Ruggs made a mistake, it is dead wrong. He made a choice. He made a decision, a series of bad decisions, as Greg Olson, the offensive coordinator, told us this week. So I didn't like the tweet. I also didn't think the tweet had enough to do with the victim. The victim in this case, the woman who died. So I didn't like the tweet, but I guess everyone has the right to their opinion.
Yeah, that was my take on it as well. I didn't feel like that it honored the victim in any sort of way. But moving on now, Rich Bisaccia again has been able to take over the reins for this team, really been able to kind of get their spirits where they need to be and their minds focused where they are. Ed, do you have any kind of a prediction for the game tonight based on what you've seen with Bisaccia?
It's so tough because we don't know how they're going to respond. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, look, the Raiders are not good off buys historically. We know that. They're the worst team in the NFL off buys. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt with the leadership of Derek Carr, that they play well off a bye and that they get the win here.
All right. There you have it from MetLife Stadium. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks so much, Ed and Heidi. Well, for a look at Raiders social media, here's multimedia journalist Leandre Fox.
Now let's go ahead and check in on how a couple Raiders spent their bye week. First up, quarterback Derek Carr trying his hand at another sport, living room baseball. Look at his son, a future pitcher in the MLB. Carr even charges the mound. Thankfully, I don't think he was hurt, but he for sure deserved a couple walks. It looks like he took his frustrations out during walking football, though. He was in his house with the Harvester Sports crew, and he absolutely lights up his receiver, keeping that arm warm during the bye week. And Casey Hayward returned home for the retirement of his high school jersey. He was honored during senior night at Perry High School, and he got to watch his Panthers get a big 35-0 win. An awesome moment for the Raiders defensive back and his family.
Thanks so much, Dre. Well, Sam, the Raiders have not won a game coming off of the bye week since 2016. With everything that is happening off the field, how do you think this team handles the Giants today?
Yeah, Cassie, that is the million-dollar question, right? That is what we're going to find out. This is a team that has been through a bunch of adversity already this year, obviously with the John Gruden situation, losing their coach midway through the season. But this is bigger than that. This is much bigger than anything football-related, and this team's mettle, its moxie is going to be tested today. If there's anything we've seen so far is that this team can handle adversity, and I expect them to handle adversity today as well. If they win this game, they're going to be in the driver's seat, already in the driver's seat in the AFC West, but can put a stranglehold on that lead ahead of the Monday night game or the Sunday night game next week at Allegiant Stadium against the Kansas City Chiefs. Daniel Jones will turn the ball over. If the Raiders defense can make some plays, pressure him, he will give you the ball, set up Derek Carr in that offense with some short fields. So I like the Raiders' chances. They have a much better roster, but again, it's a road game, East Coast. Arduous, emotional week. We're going to have to see how they come out and respond.
Sam, I want to ask you, so obviously with Henry Ruggs, now a former wide receiver of the Raiders, Zay Jones' name has been called. His number will be called on pretty often today, I feel. How do you see him taking over this new role?
I think it's a great opportunity for him. I think it's a huge opportunity. Former second-round pick. We know how accomplished he was in college, all-time NCAA leader in receptions at the time that he declared for the NFL draft. He's a guy that's made big plays when his opportunities have presented themselves. Let's go back to that Monday night, or the Monday Night Football game, Week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. He makes huge plays there. It's a big opportunity for him. He might not have Henry Ruggs' exact skill set, but you don't need to duplicate that exact skill set to be a productive receiver. And he has a quarterback in Derek Carr that's playing at an MVP caliber level, top 5 level in the NFL this year. So I think that's going to help him get comfortable and get acclimated with his bigger role.
Yeah, and when you got third and Renfro right there, obviously,
right,
to make some big plays, I think they're going to be all right, this Raiders team.
I think so, too.
All right.
I think so, too.
Well, that will do it for our Vegas Nation Game Day Live. For more Raiders coverage, head on over to vegasnation.com or download the free Vegas Nation app. He is Sam Gordon. I'm Cassie Soto. For our entire Vegas Nation crew, thank you so much for watching.
Vegas Nation Game Day Live, sponsored by South Point Sportsbook. Download the app at southpointsports.com.